Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold. If you are 50 and above, one of the biggest decisions aside from your financial situation is where and how you should live. Our professional staff at HOW stands for House Calls on Wheels, is ready to help you if you call 888-489-8980 for a free consultation as to whether you should stay in your current home or renovate it with a customized healthcare suite in your attached garage. Yes, you can have living quarters, healthcare suite in your attached garage, or we can attach it to your home. We can install ramps, walkways, and bathtubs, stair glides, and bring in insurance-covered medical professional medical staff that is covered by your insurance, or affordable non-medical help, or move into a senior apartment. Independent, assisted living center. We can do it all, or just give us a free call. It has been wisely said that in life you feel in one of two ways. You do without thinking, or you think without doing. Please let us help you do what's best for you to do at no charge. Just call 888-489-8980 and let us know what time we can call you or visit with you at no charge. Remember, asking for help is not a weakness, but it's a strength. Please call us at 888-489-8980 and let us help you stay strong and age in dignity.
And welcome, and what a beautiful sunny day. And for those of you who like solid sunshine, look around on the ground. I think it's called snow. I have quite a few friends that have moved on to Florida for the winter, and I call them every day almost, and I said, you really miss snow? I'll send you a bucket. So far, no one's taken me up on the challenge. Anyway, I cannot tell you how grateful I am to live in this wonderful country, and especially in Michigan, where we have 4 seasons. So we get a sort of plethora, or whatever you want to call it, of seasons. And one of the wonderful things, by the way, of our sponsors, is I try to make them as useful in your life as is possible. The House Calls on Wheels, where we can bring professional medical help to your home. You could have your own retirement home under your own roof. The wonderful thing about our system now is that Medicare and Medicaid still cover their medical expenses. In other words, that you do not have to pay for. Doctors come to your home, nurses, just what you'd have if you were in a retirement home. Now, if it's non-medical, then we have people that are very reasonably priced. For instance, we have people that will come out to your home for just $25 an hour, which if includes possibly if you want your hair cut. How about your meals cooked? $25 an hour. Just call 888-489-8980. As we age, one of the most important things is to be involved in the community and also give back. And I am so excited about being involved and really appreciative of the Rotary Club. For those of you who do not know, Rotary Club has 1.2 million members around the world. Yep, you heard right. 1.2 million people. You can go almost every part of the world, and chances are there is a Rotary Club in that city. I had it happen several years ago. We were in Provence, France, and guess what? The hotel we were staying in had the Rotary Club of that city meet that evening in the hotel. I excitedly ran to my wife and I said, wow, I can actually have a Rotary meeting right here. She did not appreciate my enthusiasm, and unfortunately I didn't go there. But you are so fortunate that you have them here. And one of the most dynamic individuals who has really gone up the ladder, so to speak, is RENEE Roberts. RENEE Roberts is a respected financial professional, community leader, and dedicated Rotarian, serving as district governor nominee for Rotary District 6380 in Southeast Michigan and Southwestern Ontario. Hey, how's that? Canada and the United States. Whoa! With more than 40 years of experience in financial services, RENEE has built a career around integrity, long-term relationships, and helping individuals and families achieve clarity and confidence in their financial lives. RENEE is also an Ameriprise financial advisor and recently made headlines within Rotary circles when she purchased the financial services practice of past District Governor Jeff Litchie, a fellow Rotarian and longtime friend. Their professional paths, shared values through Rotary, made the transition both seamless and deeply meaningful, creating a real-life example of how business relationships can flourish within a culture of trust and service. Beyond her professional work, RENEE is a passionate and expanding and wants to expand the Rotary's relevance to entrepreneurs, business owners, and emerging leaders, and I might even add encore entrepreneurs. She is the founder of the initiative Rotary Means Business, which highlights Rotary not only as a service organization, but also as a powerful global network for relationship-driven business growth. You can have the best of both worlds. Serve your community, help other people, and help yourself in the process. Hello, RENEE. How are you?
Hello, Ike. I have never been better.
Well, I know you can get. I thought you're the best already. You can even get better. That's fantastic. Now, RENEE,
I can't wait till tomorrow.
That's wonderful. Tomorrow, just a day away. Hey, anyway, listeners may not know how would you describe Rotary in today's world?
Well, quite frankly, Rotary is not just about meetings and service projects. It's really about forming relationships built on trust and shared values and a commitment to strengthening our communities. Through Rotary, I've found many wonderful friendships, opportunities, and professional connections that really kind of helped shape my career and my life, including the opportunity to carry forward the legacy of my respected colleague, Jeff Lichty, that you talked about earlier. But, whether you're a professional or a business owner or simply somebody who wants to make meaningful connections, I invite you to take a fresh look at Rotary.
Now, I mentioned your initiative on Rotary Means Business. What inspired you to launch this idea?
Well, I've been seeing real-life examples of business relationships forming naturally, organically, so to speak, right within Rotary. Not because people were selling to each other, but because they were building trust through service. And I realized that we were kind of underselling that value. And so Rotary Business was really kind of born from the belief that doing good together naturally led to doing business together. And that's really something we should celebrate, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, your own story seems to illustrate the concept perfectly. Can you share how your relationship with Jeff Lichty developed and how that led to your purchasing his financial services?
Yes, yeah. Well, Jeff and I knew each other through Rotary long before the business aspect ever entered the conversation. We had respected each other's professionalism, ethics, and commitment to people. So over time, conversations kind of evolved, and as trust deepened, when he began to think about his succession plan, I was honored that he saw me as someone who could carry forward his legacy. And quite frankly, that story could not have happened without Rotary.
Tell me, what did that experience teach you about trust and long-term relationships with Rotary?
Well, as you well know, Ike, Rotary relationships are built slowly, authentically, and with integrity. And, for Jeff, he wasn't just transferring a book of business. He was entrusting me with his life's work and his clients. And so that level of trust just doesn't happen, through cold networking. It happens only through shared values and years of connection.
What I love about Rotary is the old saying that you can do well doing good. I love that saying because it really exemplifies what you and I are talking about. There are so many needy people out there that just want that extra little help to get them over the hump. And the benefits with Rotary is that because you're dealing with professionals, they can help so many people who are struggling in life. And when they help them, they also help themselves. It's been said so many times, if you can help someone else breathe easier, a little bit easier, because you have lived, that is success. And Rotary does that. Rotary, as you know, since you've been around, was actually started in Chicago in the days of Al Capone, where unless you paid Big Al, you ain't doing any business in Chicago. So the three professionals who did not want to associate with the mafia and the whole bit said, why don't we meet once a week? And they picked Friday, so I just start the weekend off. One was a banker, one was an attorney, and one was a doctor. And they said, let's meet once a week and share who our clients are and refer them to each other. And if any business is done, a portion of the profits would be given to the community. Well, guess what? As I mentioned before, that concept has grown to 1.2 million people around the world. You join up with Rotary, you connect with other business professionals. We give out so many wonderful gifts to needy students. In fact, we sponsor a scholarship, don't we? For
we do,
students
absolutely.
coming. Right.
Yes.
And then what about we work with around the holidays? We give out Christmas gifts and turkeys at turkey time, right?
There's no
fact,
end.
and at the same time, I'll tell you, in my times when I was delivering turkeys, I would have my daughters along with me to show them how grateful needy people were, appreciated their gift. And I'll tell you something, anybody that's a parent and wants to really make a positive impact on their children, take them along on some of the projects the Rotary has. My daughters still talk about how grateful they were that they saw the smiles on these strangers' faces, and we just delivered a turkey to them, and that was the whole world. You know, my first name is Ike, so I have a series of Ikeisms, and one of them is that to the world, you may be just one person, but to one person, you could be the world. And Rotary helps you accomplish that. And I just wondered, what does make Rotary Network different from other professional networking organizations?
You know, Ike, I'm wondering if it's the heart. Because Rotary's not about accumulating, you know, so many leads per week or an elevator pitch. It's really about purpose, and people join Rotary to serve, and then the business benefits flow quite naturally. It's that culture of generosity and trust.
Right. Well, you know, in the business world, there's the KLT formula for success, and the K stands for no, and the L stands for like, and T stands for trust. In order to be successful in life, whether it's personal or professional, people have to know you. And number two, they have to like you. And number three, they have to trust you. And I can tell you from personal experience, I had a shopping center that my roof was constantly leaking in one of the stores because it was a flat roof. And I shopped around for different roofers, and quite frankly, it wasn't too successful. So I decided, hey, you know, why am I going out when at that time with Yellow Pages checking and then ending up disappointed? And so it turned out there was a couple of roofers in our club, Rotarians, and guess what? Each one of them, because I tried to share the wealth, so to speak, each job they did was phenomenal. In fact, I think the roof is still working well, only because they're trustworthy people. You don't belong to Rotary if you're a shyster. You have honest people who are there because they want to give back to the community, and if at the same time you're benefiting from it, what is wrong with that formula? Tell me, how does Rotary support? I was just going to ask you about, as far as professional development, actually not only personal growth, but Rotary can help in professional development. Can you talk about that, please?
Oh, absolutely. You know, as a member of Rotary, you know, they offer the visibility, the credibility, the leadership opportunities, and you have access to a global network. And I know I've grown as a communicator and sharpened my leadership skills. And, you know, I've had the opportunity to meet people from different industries and perspectives, and especially for the young people who are, you know, just starting in their careers. I would say that Rotary can kind of become your own personal board of advisors. You gain mentors and peers and lifelong friendships. So you also gain a purpose that helps keep us grounded while you're building your career.
Right. Well, one of the sidebars that I want to highlight, you talk about professional development. We have annually, we have to vote for a new president from the club, a treasurer, and what have you. You can have your own sort of grounding right in your club. You become president of the respective club, and it gives you the experience on how to be a leader of an organization. And I've had so many people that, were always shy about getting up and making a public announcement of some sort. But then when they joined up with Rotary and tried to become president, their communication skills improved, their whole relationships included. And what is also such a great benefit with Rotary is, like we talked about, there's 1.2 million members around the world. So you could go to almost any part of the world, and there'd be another Rotarian. And everyone that I've ever met in my travels, you mentioned, hey, I'm a Rotarian, you become almost an instant family member. It's just fantastic. And I was just wondering, what are your thoughts? What would you say to a young entrepreneur or emerging professional who's looking for community mentorship and opportunity? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say reach out to your local club. Many cities have 3 clubs, one that meets in the morning, one in the afternoon, one at night. Visit a Rotary club as a guest and experience the culture, meet the people, ask questions. So Rotary is one of those things that you can only truly understand after you experience it firsthand. And you'll find that we're a very welcoming group, and it's a safe place, especially for those folks who are looking to develop their skills.
Well, the other part of it is that at each meeting, almost every club will have a greeting if you're a visitor and you're asked to introduce yourself. And as a result, right from the get-go, so to speak, people get to know you, and hopefully they like you, and if they don't like you, they ain't going to have you back again. But I've never seen that happen. But I've felt so welcome. I've gone to so many different clubs, and just by saying, hey, I'm a member of the Rotary in West Bloomfield, oh, welcome. And all of a sudden, it's instant fellowship and friendship. And each club always has got a session where we call it Happy Bucks, where each person is asked to share a positive experience within the last week. And if they want to make a donation of $1, that's great. If not, that's okay too. But all of a sudden you enthrall in the joy of fellow people around you. It's just a phenomenal way to get people that you don't know to become extended family members. And I wondered, as a district governor nominee, what is your vision for strengthening Rotary's connection to business and entrepreneurship in our region?
Yeah. So I would say that my vision is to help people see that Rotary is a vibrant, relevant, and very valuable to today's professionals. So I want clubs to confidently go forth and tell their story, and to welcome these young people, these leaders, and really showcase Rotary as both a service organization and a powerful relationship network.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, relationships can't be overemphasized. Suddenly you have instant friends, and it's meaningful because people coming in are giving type people. We only have about a couple of minutes I wondered if someone is interested in finding out more, what's the first and best step they can take? Go for it.
Well, depending upon what city they're in, they can just Google, Rotary near me. Like I say, there's probably a Rotary Club in your city, maybe even 2 or 3. And we'd welcome the opportunity to share that with you. I even wear my Rotary pin when I'm out and about, and it frequently entices people to ask what that's about. And we end up talking about Rotary when we're in line at the grocery store. And, I can often connect folks with Rotary clubs in their hometown or close to where they work or whatever is convenient for them. But check us out. It's easy to look it up online. You can go to Rotary.org.
I'll tell you, I wear my pin almost every day, and I can't tell you, standing in the supermarket line or in an elevator and someone notices the pin, and invariably, and I'm not making it up, almost every other time I've been out, someone says, "Oh, I used to be a member in such and such a club." And then someone else asks, "What is Rotary about?" So all you have to do is get a lapel pin, and you can make instant friends, and not only instant friends, but you can make a positive difference in their life. And there's a rule of 250 in life, and that is every human being that is on Earth has 250 people minimum who are going to either come to your wedding or to your funeral. I suggest more for their wedding, but every human being you meet has 250 other people they can connect you with. That's why the organization grows, and the name Rotary couldn't be more appropriate. You're rotating in life in a positive way. And Renee, we just have 1 minute. If there's anything that you wanted to bring out that I didn't ask you about, feel free to say so. Is there anything you would have liked for me to ask you? Yes or no?
Well, I'll just mention about your pin. And quite frankly, prior to Rotary, maybe I only had 250 people to put on my list. But I can tell you now, after only just a few years, that circle of friends has grown exponentially. I joined Rotary. I joined Rotary because I wanted to serve my community, but I stay because of the friendships.
Wow. Well, long live Rotary. God bless you. And right now I got to wrap it up with my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is IKE ENGELBAUM, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. If you are 50 and above, one of the biggest decisions aside from your financial situation is where and how you should live. Our professional staff at HOW stands for House Calls on Wheels is ready to help you if you call 888-489-8980 for a free consultation as to whether you should stay in your current home or renovate it with a customized healthcare suite in your attached garage. Yes, you can have living quarters healthcare suite in your attached garage, or we can attach it to your home. We can install ramps, walkways, and bathtubs, stair glides, and bring in insurance-covered medical professional medical staff that is covered by your insurance, or affordable non-medical help, or move into a senior apartment, independent, assisted living center. We can do it all, or just give us a free call. It has been wisely said that in life you fail in one of two ways. You do without thinking, or you think without doing. Please let us help you do what's best for you to do at no charge. Just call 888-489-8980 and let us know what time we can call you or visit with you at no charge. Remember, asking for help is not a weakness, but it's a strength. Please call us at 888-489-8980 and let us help you stay strong and age in dignity.
And I cannot stress that magic word, dignity. I speak to a lot of senior groups and younger groups as well. And one of the most important things in most people's lives is the fact that they are able to stand up straight, so to speak, and can get around on their own. How many times have you been out there at a supermarket and you see someone struggling, and many times you want to jump in and help right away, and most of the people that are physically challenged don't want to be dumped on and they'd feel worse. Ask them, can I help you? They want to stay dignified. That's what living in your own home is all about. And as an entrepreneur, you may want to be able to help us in promoting that whole mission of helping people. Entrepreneurs really are people that want to be self-employed, and America is the greatest country to do that. You can start your own business, assuming you have the talent. If you have a passion for it, we can help you make it happen. And I am so excited about having a real, true entrepreneur who has taken that whole concept and really brought it to a tremendous success. His name is Doug Willet. Doug Willet is the president of Lunatech 3D, and that's spelled Lunatech, Lunatech. In other words, technology can make it not a lunar, but actually a wonderful creation. It originally was started as a 3D modeling company, but because of Doug's creativity, he quickly expanded it into an immersive online marketing with Google Tours, Matterport, digital twins, and now artificial intelligence storytelling. I gotta tell you, Doug, I try to keep up with what's going on, but I hate to put you on the spot, but I am going to. And since you, in your credentials, it says you are involved with Google Tours and Matterport, digital twins, and now with artificial intelligence storytelling, Can you tell me what's that all about? What's Google Tours, Matterport, Digital Twins in shirt sleeve English?
Sure.
How do you explain that?
Well, thanks for having me, Ike.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me? Okay, good. Google Tours are basically, if you think of, most people are now familiar with what Street View is for Google, where you can kind of go on Google Maps and drop the little yellow guy, and he'll kind of show you a 360-degree image of out on the roads. So we launched a program with Google way back in 2010, where we brought that technology indoors so that you could take someone on a virtual tour of your restaurant, your hotel, whatever you wanted to show someone visually in 360-degree images. So that's what Google Tours are.
Before you go on, I want to emphasize, because I have a small mind, and I'm sure there's other people out there that might appreciate clarification. And I've seen your stuff, and we'll get into that a little bit later. And that is, picture if you walk into a restaurant that with Google Tours, you can actually feel you're in the restaurant. It's not a flat picture. It's not just a nemsy-pamsy video. You actually feel like you're sitting in that restaurant. Is that correct?
Yep, that's basically it. It's an image that wraps around you in 360 degrees online, so that you can kind of look around you in any direction and see what they have to offer.
Wow. Now, what about Matterport? How digital twins?
Sure.
Is that one word or is that 3 words? What does that mean?
It's a mouthful. Matterport is a new technology that came out several years ago, but it uses 2 different technologies at the same time. It takes photos in 360 degrees. So when we set a camera down on a tripod, it spins around and does start at 12 o'clock and work your way all the way around the clock till it comes back to 12 o'clock again. And as it's spinning around, it's taking photos of whatever is in front of it. At the same time, it's also bouncing a laser off of everything that is in that space, and it calculates the distance. So it's actually creating what they call a point cloud. And you can take that information and put it online and create a 3D model of the space. So, we do a lot of jobs for architects where they need to measure, they need floor plans for a building that may have never had them. So we go in with this technology, it spins around, and as we walk through the space, we capture that entire space. So, and then it creates a 3D model that you can view online, but then it also leads to all kinds of other experiences, whether you're using it for work, you need floor plans, you need measurements, maybe you're doing it for insurance purposes to record everything that you have in the house. So it creates what we call a digital twin. It's a replica of that thing in the real world, but in a digital format.
Wow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it, with Matterport, you can come in and actually see visually what it is, not just a flat picture, actually what it is, and especially, and now with the unfortunate fires you hear and floods, I think it's vital that every family should have a view of what the house looks like now. So if they're in that unfortunate situation where they have to report and try to recoup from insurance, the insurance company can see, hey, we insured this guy's house, and he did have this expensive photograph or picture or what have you, or jewelry, rather than you're trying to guess and try to fumble through whatever few bucks the insurance company wants to give. And not to badmouth insurance companies, there's a lot of good ones, there's a lot of great ones, but unfortunately, there's also a lot of shysters in the business, and their job And once you pay your insurance, is when you have a disaster, is to give you as little as they can without breaking the law. But if you got it all captured on film like that, it's hard for them to take advantage of you. But now, as they say, the most recent venture, which I'm most excited about, is artificial intelligence storytelling. You sent me a video of an event that you did for the Plymouth Historical Museum. It is absolutely phenomenal. Please go ahead and describe what I saw.
Sure. So they wanted to do an exhibit at the museum celebrating they're doing the first half of the America 250 project. And so they had a story about a resident of Plymouth that they had uncovered that had been a delivery person and had lived there his whole life. And they had actually connected with this person's ancestors, or their descendants, and were able to tell them the story about their great-great-grandfather. And so the museum director wanted to be able to bring this story to life because all they had was a single photograph of this individual when he was in his 90s. And what they wanted to do was tell the story through his eyes about what he saw in the community over his lifetime and about how he saw Plymouth grow and develop. And so we worked with that photograph and we put it into AI. And I work with someone, his name is Blair Adams out of California, and Blair does all the heavy lifting on this, so I'm not taking credit for any of his phenomenal work. But we were able to take that photograph and de-age that person so that they looked about 40 years younger than that one photograph we had. And then we could actually bring that person to life and have him tell the story about certain events that occurred in Plymouth's past. The great fires of 1856 and 93 and the businesses that developed in the area. So it's just a way to kind of visually engage the story of this person, which if you're looking just on paper, or maybe a flat photograph of it, it's like, yeah, okay, that's nice, but what does that mean to me? But it really brings in the emotion and the trials and tribulations that someone went through back then.
And, the way I interpret what you just said is a picture, as they say, picture a picture, okay? You have a long-lost relative, and all you have is a picture of him. With artificial intelligence, you can now bring that photograph literally to life. The person you're talking about, I saw it, and anybody that's interested, I'd like for you to give your contact information. They, on their own, can appreciate what you did. They can link on, and they will see this person that had passed away. All Doug had to work with was a photograph. Suddenly that person begins to talk and move like a human being on the screen. Is that right, Doug?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll even do you one better. I would encourage everybody to go to the Plymouth Historical Museum in downtown Plymouth. It's one of the first exhibits you'll see when you walk in, and it really allows you to engage with it. There's actually a physical replica of this person's cart that he used to deliver materials around the community. And we're in the process we're waiting for a grant to come back, but we're going to build a little hall so that you could actually go in and interact with people from the past. And you could actually ask someone like, a famous name from Plymouth is George Starkweather. And so there's streets named after him, there's buildings named after him. But what if you could go back and actually ask Mr. Starkweather a question, and he could tap into the information that he has, that we have about him, stored in a database, and he could actually talk to you about his experiences. That's kind of the level that we're trying to go at the Plymouth Museum.
Wow. So you can actually have people that have passed away come back to life. At least, and the lunatic, you can bring him back. Wow, that's incredible. And I just wanted to know, apparently you're working with the Detroit Institute of Arts as well. Tell us about that.
Yep. We're doing a online thing for the Diego Rivera mural exhibit that's down there, that you walk into the huge open area and you can see this phenomenal painting that covers all four walls. But they wanted something that people could engage with if they weren't able to come down to the museum. So we've digitized that space, created a 3D replica of it, and it's online. And it will be online. It's not available yet. But you can go online and virtually fly around that room and zoom right in to see all the little nuances of the painting. But more importantly,
wow,
it'll tell you the story behind the painting. Like, who is this person that he depicted in this section of the painting? And what does this section mean compared to the other section? It really gives more context to things you're looking at. So it's not taking away from it's not like, oh, I saw that online, why do I need to go? No, it gives you more information to better appreciate what you're looking at when you do go to the DIA.
Wow. Well, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be possible at churches where the members would like to know the history of the church, you could actually recreate how that church started and see the activities that went on before they even joined the church? Is that possible?
Absolutely. So in this photograph, in this project that we did for Plymouth, we had a photograph of the Great Fire of 1893 that burned down one of the main blocks in town. And it was taken from a second-story building across the street. But we were able to take that photograph and colorize it, bring it to life, and actually change angles within that photograph. So you can actually kind of move subtly through the scene to look at the ruins from a different angle. And then you see all the different people that have been static images in that photo since 1893 suddenly come alive as they're milling around in front of the rubble, taking a look at the fire that just devastated their community.
Wow, almost every house of faith usually has a wall of photographs of the founders of that particular institution, and they usually have a little blurb about their life. This could take those photographs of those people and actually bring them back into lifelike figures, and you capture their voice too? Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely, we can. Yeah, we can take a sample of their voice and then train that voice using AI so that we could give it then a script of what the story is. They don't have to tell the exact story, word for word. We can take a sample of their voice and then simulate that voice so it's, pretty darn accurate according to the way they actually speak and talk. And then that they're preserved forever in the ability to tell their story.
Wow. Well, my phone number, and I can put you in touch with Doug, is 888-489-8980. I give it out all the time. 888-489-8980. And I try to give back to people that help. And what you could do, think about it. You could have in your church or organization a recreation of the founders of that specific organization, so the current members would appreciate what they went through for you to even have that organization. And you could use it as a fundraiser. I think it would be such a wonderful way for any organization to really ingratiate themselves to their members. And we keep talking about people that are no longer around with us, but to bring it home, so to speak, and today, if I run into people that want to stay in their own homes versus going to a nursing home or a retirement home, isn't it possible that if they want to renovate their home, that you could, with artificial intelligence, show how their home would look like after you renovate it to make it more comfortable? Isn't that doable?
Oh, yeah, we do that every day for people. Digitize the space and then say, show me what it looks like with this, style of paint on the walls and carpet or furniture. But even more important, we could even take that structure and take it back in time to show what it looked like 25, 50, 100 years ago. So absolutely.
Right.
I mean, it's the image is the starting point, but there's no limit in terms of the direction you can go with it, either forward or backward in time.
Right. Well, I was just thinking of grandparents that may want to share, and almost all grandparents want to tell their grandkids what they did at their age, tell them about their history. You could actually graphically show the grandparents' life to the grandkids in a lifelike way. Isn't that true?
Absolutely.
Wow, what a wonderful gift. Can you imagine grandkids? Hey, Grandma or Grandpa, where did you go? You can show them not just a flat picture. You can take that picture and bring it back alive live today, right?
Yep. I want to be able to talk to my great grandchildren, even if I'm not physically here.
Wow. By the way, there's a standing joke. You know why grandkids and grandparents get along so well? The answer is because they both have a common enemy. Anyway, that's supposed to be funny. But the truth of it is that you could actually, I haven't thought of it, but people like famous presidents of the United States. Isn't it conceivable that you could have the president like George Washington actually talk? Is that doable?
Oh, people are doing that online every day with apps. You give there's free apps that you plug your head in, and you'll be, dancing with Fred Astaire, or, you'll be wherever. But yeah, there's apps that do that today for free. It's a little more complicated when you have to have it scripted out and you want it done in a historically accurate way, as opposed to a lot of the stuff you see online today. It's like you don't know what's real and what's artificially generated, and unfortunately, that's kind of a downside. But we try to use the technology to tell positive, historic stories, as opposed to, oh, hey, look, the president fell down again. Stupid stuff that people are spending their time on today.
Right. And tell me, is it conceivable that, let's say, you pull up George Washington with artificial intelligence and you want to ask him a question? Could he answer the question? I mean, this is way out.
Absolutely.
But you could actually have George Washington
you can kind of do that today with ChatGPT.
And now, how do people get a hold of you directly? Why don't you give out your information a couple of times? Go ahead.
Okay, sure. You can contact us at info@lunatech3d.com. That's LUNATECH 3D.com. You can always call us. You can reach me at 734-260-1069. And like you said before, you could always reach out to Ike.
Well, my number, of course, is 888-489-8980. Tell me who you feel can benefit most. So if the phone rings to Doug Willet, who would you like to be at the other end? Or is it too wide a question, or open the question? Is there any ideal, or who benefits most from this kind of a service?
Anybody that's trying to get a visual picture into someone else's mind about their space, their project, the person they're talking about. It's all about, getting that thought from one head to another. So anybody that you need to tell them a visual story would be a candidate for us to talk to, and there's different ways we could help them.
Well, now I was thinking, like with retirement homes, they're always offering a free lunch and tour. You could have your own lunch in your own home, and with the artificial intelligence capability, you could actually walk into that retirement home, so you feel like you're inside that home. Isn't that true? They can actually feel they're in the home while they're in their own home. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we do that. We've been doing that with the assisted living centers and senior centers for over a decade, using just kind of the Google technology and the Matterport technology. You really don't need AI for that. But if you wanted to actually interact with someone in that virtual space, ask them questions and have a regular conversation with someone, then that brings in another layer of complexity. But yeah, we've been doing that type of service for customers for over a decade.
So anybody listening, if you're considering going into a retirement home, or if you're in business and want to know what is it like if I rented space in that office building, you could do it from the comfort of your own home or office, right? I mean, that's incredible. You could be there without having to leave your home. And with this kind of weather right now, that sounds like a heck of a good deal. Now, if anyone is interested in having their particular home business and they want to show off their showroom, wouldn't this be a perfect way of doing it? You wouldn't. So, yeah, I think you mentioned when we were off the air, there was a hardware store that you actually went through and you showed all of the different products that were on the shelves. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. That's just kind of a built-in feature of those virtual tours. And that's not anything earth-shattering, groundbreaking. Those technologies have been there for a long time. It's now the ability to actually bring them to life and make them more intelligent is kind of where the latest trend is going.
So if you would like to shop from your home and have someone on screen actually show you what they have, you can see it, even though it may be old technology. To me, it's a novel way of saving yourself a lot of running around, and especially with these roads sliding around. All you got to do is get a hold of Doug Willet, and I'll be glad to put you in touch with him. My toll-free number is 888-489-8980, and I'm sure Doug would appreciate the opportunity if you belong to an organization where he would give a talk to the group that the group might benefit on a personal basis, or even promote the organization itself. So if you're a Rotarian or Optimist Club member or a Kiwanis member, we can make it happen where you can be there without having to leave your particular space. Doug, it's been a pleasure to have you on the air as always. And we got about, we only have about 30 seconds left. So I'm going to have to bid goodbye to you, but I have to finish with my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.